dear V2 viewers, guess who's not in a very good damn mood today? Guess who's... Well, I'm really, really pissed off today, V2 viewers. I'm really, really pissed off, and I got myself on it because I thought I'd fill you in with it. Yes, I did. I thought I'd get myself onto the V2 viewers, and I will lay it all out in front of them and see what they bleeding well think. Because I have had my ears, my mind, and my entire body and spirit hallucinated. I have, by that damn bleeding Rachel bleeding Wagland, whatever her name is, from the Monty Shit Show duo. Oh my days. Why don't they bring a law out to stop her getting herself on the V2 viewers? Hey, I can't endure it anymore, V2. Every damn week, that damn woman, I think I'm going to sue her. I think I'm going to bleed sue her. Oh no, hang on a minute, she lives in bleeding America, doesn't she? Shame she doesn't live in bloody... I'd send her a bloody lawsuit crap she comes out with. And I don't need it. She makes me feel very depressed, she does. Ridiculous bleeding woman. Now listen up, VTubers. I've got something to tell you. I've got to be honest with you and tell you that until today, even though I've said I've watched her bleeding horrible old podcast, well, it was poetic licence, VTubers. Because up until now, I actually have winged it. And I have gone by without actually having to have my ear holes assailed by her bleeding nonsense every damn week, V2 viewers. That's what I've done. Yes, I have. But this week, V2 viewers, this was a bridge too bleeding far for your old Gert this week. It was, V2 viewers, because you never guess what she's done this week. Oh no, you're never going to guess what she's done this week. I'll tell you what she's done this week. She's only brought your Professor Dr. Jordan B. Peterson into her splurges, hasn't she? Yes, she has. How dare she? How dare she say his name even? That ridiculous little wench. I'm going to explode, I'm so cross. Who does she think she is? And another thing what I want to know is, who is she? Who is she? What bloody qualifications has she got to sit herself up there on the VTube or the Spotify or the Netflix or whatever damn thing she is and talk the bleeding nonsense? Has she got a GCSE even? And we're not talking about some Mickey Mouse diploma that her father paid for, some Mickey Mouse university that it turned out she only went to for a year, but actually increased her credentials so that she could get a bit of, well, a bit of your Barry really, I suppose, than any other rich man. Eh? Stupid wench. Oh, she said something about Jordan Peterson, and he said about something to do with women or whatever. Listen up, you stupid little madam. Professor Dr. Jordan Peterson is a bloody iconic person. He is a selfless, decent human being, and something that you wouldn't know anything about. Mrs. Ragland. I could bet. Look, you've even upset my babs as well now. Now, I'm not putting up with it anymore. You need to wind your blimmin' neck in. That's what you need to do. Because your Professor Dr. Jordan Peterson has saved many people's lives. Oh, yes, he has. And you have no idea about what he's gone through and what he does. What he does for free, well, you wouldn't even get out of bed, would you? You wouldn't even clean your teeth for what he does, would you? You nasty little madam, you really are. And it's only because I'm on YouTube that I'm not using stronger bleeding words. But if you want to know what I really think, I suggest you all go over to Rumble. Because on Rumble, you're going to get a no-holds-barred, blow-by-blow walkthrough of exactly what a poisonous little dwarf that thing is. I tell you what, I have never heard so much crap in my entire bleeding life. And she's actually given a platform, and she's paid millions and millions of bleeding pounds. Talk about a bloody hypocrite. Crazy? She's not bloody crazy. She's a psycho bleeding path. Crazy? You get crazy paving. You get crazy golf, don't you? And you get crazy, well, you get crazy hats, don't you? You get all sorts of crazy things. You get crazy string. It's not a negative thing to be crazy. If the only thing she was ever called was crazy, I wouldn't be on here, would I? Stupid bloody woman. Crazy. And what did she have on there this week? Who else was she? Well, I think she had her bleeding twin sister on between me and you. Stupid bloody wench she brought on. What's her name? Let me think, what was her name? Constant Woe or something? Oh, Constant Woe was on there. Oh, she was in some Mickey Mouse two-bit bleeding sitcom or something about 50 bleeding years ago or something or other, where she showcased stereotypes of bleeding Asian women. Yes, she did, like that other stupid comedian she had on the other week that only made her bloody name. Well, not that anybody's heard of her, but what name she did have, she made out of being given a platform to take the piss out of the people that she actually is one of. So, not really feeling all her bollocks that she comes out with VooTubers. And as for that constant bleeding woe, I constantly woe because I was on a sitcom. And the producer, and I actually did, before I got myself on here, I did quite a bit of research into what her allegations were that she was alluding to constantly in that pity bleeding party that she was indulging herself with on your VooTube or whatever it was, on your Spotify bleeding podcast with Rachel bleeding Ragland. And do you know what I found out, VooTubers? From her own words, not the producers, no, not the alleged person, no, from her own words. Do you know what Constant Woe had to put up with, VooTubers? Do you know what Constant Woe thinks constitutes bullying, and sexually harassed at work? Her producer slapped her across the bum one day when she was wearing blimmin' denim shorts or something. I mean, that is not sexual harassment. And then on a few occasions, because he had a bit of thing for her, like, he's a man, she's a woman, she's a bloody adult, not a schoolgirl, right? And he asked her to take selfies and to send him some sexy selfies or some pictures of herself looking sexy. That does not constitute, well, in my day, that would have been a blimmin' compliment, stupid woman. God, I'm a proud, independent, empowered woman, and I've got all the ambitions. I'm going to get myself on the television. Oh yes, and I'm equal to anybody. But the minute a man shows some sort of sexual interest in me as a grown adult woman, oh, well, I just defer to the fact that I'm a poor little Victorian virgin. Oh, dearie me, VooTubers. And now I'm being bullied, VooTubers. And when they renewed my contract, I got myself on Twitter and I said all sorts of things like, oh no, I can't bear it. I can't bear being the star of this show, VooTubers. Stupid bloody Constant Woe. Bloody stupid cow. How dare she get up there and purport to blimmin' represent Asian women when she's made her money out of taking the piss out of the stereotypes of them, like your stupid Raglan wench as well. Oh, I don't like people calling me crazy. And everybody here, put your hands up if you've ever been called crazy. Well, I looked round my room and me and Babs, neither of us had our bloody hands up. Guess what? Because we haven't been called crazy, not in the way that you say. And if somebody's called you crazy, it's because you are crazy, my dear. They are talking the truth. You act like a complete demented harpy. And I'll tell you another thing, how dare you get up there and purport to represent women when you've left a swathe of women, right, in your blimmin' wake that have all been bullied and traumatised by you. Yes, they have, you horrible little hypocrite. I don't know how you show your blimmin' face in public. You nasty little madam. Oh, I'm a strong, independent, confident woman, but I don't like people calling me crazy. Listen up. There was only 2 decent bloody sitcoms to come out of America. I'm sorry, America, but I'm a British woman. British woman over here, yes, and the only 2 decent sitcoms, or comedy, whatever they're called, that you send over to your Brito that were ever funny was your Will and Grace and your Everybody Loves Raymond. And apart from that, they're all full of bloody idiots like Constant Woe and stupid old Ragland. And I might actually add, I bet you anything the only reason she's got a humdigger for half of those others was something to do with your mother's sitcom I never heard of either, right? The only reason she don't like them is because she probably got turned down time and time again for a part of, well, probably cleaning lady. She probably got turned down for being an extra in the background doing the waitressing or something. That's what her blimmin' beef is. I bet you anything, VooTubers. Oh, she's got to spoil every woman's fuss. The ebb and flow of being a grown-up adult woman. Oh no, it's all got to stop because of Constant Woe and Rachel Ragland. Oh yeah, they don't like people saying things about them. I don't like somebody smacking my ass. Listen up, if a man smacks your bleeding ass and you don't like it, love, you turn round and you slap his bloody face. That's what you do. You don't get yourself on Twitter and start crying and then casting aspersions on him and his career and everything because he's an adult man and you're an adult bloody woman, and it's about time you started acting like a bloody adult man, an adult bloody woman, or whatever it is you do. the pair of you. Oh, yes. She said, my husband had to get me a therapist. Well, that's funny, because I remember the Oompa Loompa bleeding interview you did, and apparently you couldn't get a therapist because you didn't know what to do, because you reverted to the little Victorian maiden virgin again, didn't you? And you were so upset. And even though your mum's a mental health worker and a bleeding social worker, and a lot of other things actually between me and you, VooTubers, which I won't allude to on this here blimmin' channel, but she didn't even think of picking up her phone to the mum. Did she? Oh no, she was probably stoned anyway. But anyway, it didn't even occur to her, did it? And apart from the fact a lot of brides get a bit, well, when they're coming up to their wedding, they get, well, bridezilla. I don't know about, she was like a bride cracker, that bleeding thing. I can imagine her when she was going to get married. I can imagine exactly what she was like, giving it all the bloody lemon. My husband had to get me a therapist. Well, that's funny, because on Oompa Loompa, you said that he didn't. You said that Harry didn't know what to do, and he even said, well, I didn't know what to do. You pair of bleeding brain donors, overly entitled, pampered, spoiled, little and there's women all over the world that can't feed their children. There's old people bloody sat in their homes, freezing bloody cold, and there's poverty and pestilence and Christ knows what. We're on the brink of a bloody nuclear war. But no, we've all got to stop and listen to constant woe and wait your bleeding wagland, waffling a load of old bleeding nonsense, splurging a verbal bleeding jizz all over the population every week. And I just about put up with it. Week in and week out, I just about put up with it. Until you mentioned Professor Dr. Jordan Bleeding Peterson. How dare you? How dare you even have that man's name on your lips? You're not even worthy, well, you're not even worthy to breathe the same air that he's breathed. That man has saved so many people's lives, and I might add while I'm on here, VooTuber, and I'm not even doing it as girl, I'm doing it as me, right? That man saved me. If it wasn't for Jordan Peterson, most people can't afford clinical psychologists. Most people can't afford the sort of therapy that this entitled little shit, right, it's just part of her life to have, isn't it? To go and like splurge out all her little grizzles and woes here and there and everywhere. When my son was killed in 2012, I didn't want to live. And there's two people that saved me. My Robbie, who's recently departed, as people that watch me enough know, yeah? And Professor Jordan B. Peterson is the one that saved me. And he saved so many people across the world. And how dare that nasty, entitled, spoilt, little miserable cow bring his name into her bloody no nonsense podcast. It's getting beyond a joke. She needs stopping. And I'm glad I don't subscribe to Spotify, and I'm glad I cancelled my Netflix blimmin' months ago. Months ago. As soon as it came up and had anything to do with that stupid little wench. How dare she? Well, I've said enough, and I probably haven't said, well, I've probably said more than enough, VooTube, haven't I? Really? But it's really upset me. And I cannot believe that she gets away with giving a platform to just annoy people and upset people the world over. And there's people out here really suffering. I'm not even talking about myself. I'm sure there's a lot of you suffering. I know there's YouTube creators out there that suffer. I know quite a few of them that suffer. And it isn't on. And those are just people that I know. And I know people that can't afford to feed their kids and can't afford to put shoes on their kids. You know, and she's like, somebody once called me crazy. No, they didn't. They called you a sociopathic narcissist. You're a nasty, malignant little narcissist, and you're full of bleeding shit, love. That is your problem. And you just think that everyone wants to listen to your little girly breathy voice. And just to understand, well, this is how deluded you are, yeah? I don't like people calling me crazy and giving me negative stereotypes. Oh no, I can't put on with it because it really upsets me. I get the vapours I do every time I hear the word crazy. Stupid mare. And just to underline that, right at the end of the podcast, you thought, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a poem. I expect she wrote the bloody poem, it's so full of shit. And this poem is like, I was called crazy. Something along there, I mean, not verbatim because, well, I had to drill holes in my bleeding brain to get through it. 1 hour I'm never going to get back, and you want to watch because I'm going to send you a bloody... I'm going to blooming sue you for it. I'm going to send you a bill for the damage you've done to my blooming psychology. That's what I'm going to do, Megan bloody Ragland, whatever your blooming name is, Megan Ragland. Yes, oh yes, well, yeah, I felt, somebody called me crazy. So what I did, I went into the forest and I spoke to the trees and I spoke to the bushes and I spoke to the birds and, oh, they spoke to me as well. But I ain't fucking crazy, stupid bitch.